Hi, DavRBailey here again, and today I thought I'd take a few minutes and just shoot a quick tutorial video on how to play my Fretless Jam song. Fretless Jam was the first YouTube video I ever shot and posted it on my channel a couple months ago. And it was originally inspired by a little coordination exercise that I had come up with after I was inspired by a new patch that I had bought for my D-50 back in 1990. And it's not a difficult song, but I think it's kind of neat and it's different. And a lot of people have given me positive comments on it. So I thought it would be fun if I took a moment to break down the pieces of that song and show you how it's done for anyone that just wanted to have some fun jam time and try playing it. So thanks for watching my videos. And if you haven't seen the song that I'm referring to, check out my video for Fretless Jam. You can skip my speaking intro and go to the 2-minute mark on the video. That's when the song actually starts. And check it out, and then come back here and learn how to play the thing. So have a great day, and thanks for watching. Alright, let's start things off by looking at the patch that I used to create this Fretless Jam song. I'll start by apologizing for my hideous looking knuckles. At our martial arts school where I study Kung Fu, we got a new heavy bag, and even with protective gloves I managed to skin all my knuckles the other night doing punching drills, so they look terrible on video, but I know that won't matter. Anyway, this Fretless Jam patch was created from 2 factory patches that I put together as a split patch. I was shopping in the store many years ago looking at Roland's card number 04, which is their Decay Group 2 collection, and I found this one patch that inspired this whole thing called Digital Atmosphere, and it's pretty cool. And so that sound actually inspired the main hook in this song. And I wanted to add a bass, so I found this one patch called Glide Bass. Unfortunately, this particular patch, one of the tones wasn't really very useful. It's just a little bit of noise on top of the patch, and so the lower tone was most of the patch anyway. So I copied that lower tone in with the Digital Atmosphere patch, which was a whole tone, so it was a half sound anyway, and I came up with Fretless Jam. I did edit the controls so that the hold pedal with my foot only affects the bass and not the right hand. That makes it easy to hold the bass patches. And as I do on the song, it's very cool with the bass to do a little slide off the black notes, so you get a little bit of a fretless bass buzz. So I do a little bit of that as I play the song. So that's pretty much the patch I'm using. Alright, let's take a look at the main patterns that make up this song. This is really the meat of my Fretless Jam song, and it's made up of 2 patterns. I'll go ahead and call them Pattern A and Pattern B. And for ease of listening on the audio, I'm going to switch to an electric piano for now, just so you can hear the notes individually. And what happened was, as I was playing with that Digital Atmosphere patch, I ended up coming up with a little pattern in my right hand. And then later I was playing the pattern and it was different somehow. And I figured out what I did differently to create Pattern A and Pattern B. And so this is Pattern A. Everything I'm doing is going to be using a C sus2 chord, which is a C, the D, and the G, and I put the G on the bottom. So pretty much everything's happening right in this chord form right here. So pattern A always starts on C. The downbeat's always on the C. And in this case, the first note I play after the downbeat is going to go down to the G. And so that's the key between pattern A and pattern B, is that second note. Where you go with the second note differentiates between the two patterns. So pattern A is simply this. And it's characterized by that single hit at the end, like that. So that's pattern A. Pattern B is a slight variation, and it was an accident when it happened. And instead of going down on the second note to the G, I actually went up one note to the D. And what ended up happening was this. I ended up with a double hit at the end of the pattern by going up to the D. So once I figured out what I had done to create the two patterns, I had pattern A by going down with the single hit, and pattern B by going up with the double hit. And then I thought, how cool would it be if I could manage to do pattern A and pattern B and pattern A and pattern B back and forth. So like this. I'm going to go ahead and we switch over to the actual sound, and you can start to hear it come together. Now, when I eventually take this up to full tempo, I start emphasizing that downbeat so that you hear the beginning of the phrase. And I also like to put a bit of a staccato hit on those last little high pops. And so then if we take it up to full tempo, eventually, you end up with this. So that pattern will pretty much be the same throughout the whole song, even if we change into a couple different chord forms, which we'll discuss in a few moments. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the left-hand bass. This is actually very simple. On the video you can just barely see my lowest C here, but I am basically locking my hand into an octave and playing an octave on everything I do on the bass. So even though you can't see my left pinky, it's down here at the bottom. So pretty much it's just the C, F, and G, and we're just going like this. And then B flat. And then the second time through I start adding those little slides. So the bass is pretty easy to figure out. Okay, I'm going to show you the few different chord forms that take place in this song. There's not that many. The challenge and the fun of this song become trying to play that pattern A and B back and forth using the different chord forms. Excuse me. So the first chord I showed you is the C sus2. And the next chord I go down to is just the same thing. It's a B flat, sus2. The difference here is I play the pattern set once through this way, and then I switch to this. So the pinky changes down here. So it ends up looking like this. I'll go slow. As we move up to the A flat, these are your notes in the right hand. We have an E flat, B flat, C, and an E flat on top. Up to the B flat. And this one's always a little bit of fun. Down to the F. So that last note drops down. The last G is just a simple triad. That's your big hold note at the end. So that's basically it, and I know I make it sound simple, and it really isn't that hard. It does take a little bit of practice, and getting that right hand to go for 5 minutes straight without having to think about it is part of the fun. And so when you put it all together, you end up with this. So thanks for watching, and I hope that gives you something fun to do, and have a great day.